Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to answer the question, should I send a lowball offer on a property? If this is your first time here, my name is Hassan Juma. I'm a real estate agent in Vancouver, and I make educational videos to help you in your buying or selling journey. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. So for starters, what is a lowball offer? And I do need to address this because a lowball offer does not necessarily mean a price that is much lower than the seller's asking price. Sometimes the seller's asking price is outlandish. It has nothing to do with reality, and it's just way overpriced in terms of what they expect to get. So if you do send an offer that's significantly below that, I still wouldn't consider that a lowball offer. So a lowball offer is one that is much lower than what actual market value is. And how do we determine market value? Is strictly based on sold properties. So a lowball offer is much lower than comparable sold properties within a similar period of time, not going back a year or 2 years, but lower than what is currently happening in the market. So I guess the next question is, should you send a lowball offer on a property? So you always can if you like. You know, a realtor that you're working with is obliged to send any offer that you would like to put forth. Usually you're going to work with a realtor that's going to give you some guidance and give you an idea of what market value is and whether or not that offer has a chance of sticking, has a chance of you purchasing that home. But there's a few instances where I think a lowball offer makes sense. There's a little bit of work that needs to be done prior to make sure you're in a good position to make it worth your time. But the first thing that you want to find out if you're about to send a lowball offer is, what is the seller motivation? So the seller motivation, the easiest way to get an understanding of what it might be is to have your agent simply ask the question to the listing agent, why is it that your seller is moving? Now, the seller and the agent, they're under no obligation to give you the answer to that question, but you'll be surprised how many agents will give that information up if you ask them the right way. Oftentimes, someone may be moving because they got a new job in Toronto on the other side of the country, or they're moving to Victoria. There's some sort of compelling reason that is forcing them to move out of their existing home. And if that is the circumstance, that sets up quite well for you to give a lowball offer, or for you to submit a lowball offer and have a chance of it going through. And oftentimes, if you are going to send that lowball offer, you will need to be a little bit more flexible with dates and timing in order to have that chance of that property going through. So that's kind of the first thing, is to try and determine seller motivation. If it's high and there's a time condition on that motivation that they need to sell by a specific time, you have a much better chance of your offer going through. So the second thing that you want to consider if you're about to send a lowball offer is, how long has that home been on the market? It is often, I won't say 100% of the time, but it is often very difficult to get a quote-unquote lowball offer accepted when a home has just hit the market. Now, if you put yourself in a seller's shoe, they've been sitting with their listing agent, they've been told what a market value price looks like, they hit the market, the seller is excited, they want to see offers coming in, and if you hit them right away with an offer that is very low, you're going to get dismissed right away 9 times out of 10. Chances are they won't look at it, they will get offended by it, you guys will be on bad terms. So if the property has just hit the market, the seller is less likely to accept your lowball offer. The first offer in general, when you're working with a seller and you're a listing agent, sometimes that first offer, even if it's a good one, gets turned down or turned away by a seller. Us in the industry, we call it a first offer syndrome. You get the first offer, and if it comes very quickly, we automatically, human nature tells us that the next one is going to be a better offer, and it's not always the case. So in a roundabout way, if you're going to submit a lowball offer, you have a better chance of that happening if the home has been on the market for a period of time. So if you consider someone who's been on the market for a month or 2 months or 3 months, they're getting a little tired of allowing people coming into their home to view it, cleaning up, making sure the property looks good for open houses or for showings. It gets tiring. And at that time, a seller may now look at a lower offer just to get this task off their plate to sell and be able to move on. So again, should you send that lowball offer? If it's one day, it's fresh on market, your chances are a little slimmer. If it's something that's been on the market for some period of time, you have a much better chance of that offer being taken seriously. And the third opportunity for you to send a lowball offer is if you can be very flexible with some of your subjects and some of your terms. So oftentimes when we are writing offers for clients, we're writing those with financing subject, we're writing that with a subject to a home inspection, we're writing that with subject to being able to get fire property insurance. We have a host of subjects that we put into an offer. And for a seller, what that does is it just lets them know that yes, they have an offer in front of them, but there is a possibility that at the end of that subject removal period, this buyer is going to walk away and they're not going to purchase the property. Now, only if you're in a position where you can write an offer that has very limited subjects, perhaps you have cash in the bank, you don't need a financing subject, you're in a much better position to write a lower offer the fewer subjects you have. Now, I'm not recommending to people out here to write no subject offers. You need to discuss that with your mortgage broker. But if you are able to write a no subject offer, your agent should be able to get you a lower price based on that. And oftentimes you can get a price lower than market value because the seller knows if they sign on the dotted line, the home is sold. There's no waiting game. There's no sleepless nights trying to wait and see whether subjects get removed. There is a price, there is a cost to having certainty for the seller that they are indeed selling their home and able to move on. And for you taking the risk and being in a position to write, what we call a cash offer or no subject offer, in that position, you should write your offer lower than market value, a lower price, and you should get paid back for that bit of risk that you're taking on. So there you go. There's 3 scenarios where you can and you should write a lowball offer. As I said off the top, if it's something you want to do, always take your shot. So don't think that if you don't meet these 3 criteria, you can't send the offer that you want to. You should still take the opportunity to do that. A quick bonus tip is sometimes when you send that low offer initially and it doesn't get accepted, you'd be surprised how many sellers circle back after a period of time, reach out to their listing agent and ask if we can replicate that offer that came early on. So if you don't offend the seller by sending that low offer, sometimes what you do is you plant the seed that I want this property, and you'd be surprised how many sellers will circle back when they don't have success on the market to see whether you're still interested. And now you're actually in an even greater position of strength because they've come back over your way. So just a bit of a tip when you're writing offers, that one thing that you are doing when you write an offer is you're at the very least expressing interest in the property. So guys, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, I'd love it if you'd hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, and you'll get more videos like this in the future. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a great day.